Another wall support bracket could be the telescoping bracket. So this one here can open up to a distance of 24 and a quarter, allowing you the ability to work in commercial or residential, depending upon your framing. Once again, one of the highlights of a telescoping bracket is that you're able to mount the boxes anywhere along the bracket. You're not locked into any one spot. You also can mount more than one box at a time. The other key features is that depending upon the box depth that we talked about, whether it's 1.5 inches or 2 1/8, you will be able to adjust for that to allow that box to sit flush with your wall. So this, as I mentioned, is up to 24 and a quarter inches for more commercial applications. But there is a solution if you were working with smaller framing. So this particular telescoping is 17 inches and 3/4. And this one here, once again, can be used in commercial depending upon your framing, but also can be utilized in residential. Same features you have, the ability of mounting your boxes anywhere along the line here, and adjusting for the depth of 1.5 inches or 2 1/8. When working with this bracket, it is telescoping, so you're going to be able to choose the width you need this set at. So it could be for 16 on center. So when you are preparing this, you have to be able to understand the bend points, because you're going to have to manipulate this bracket to fit your studs. So there's the first bending point, which is here, which will then take your linesmans, you'll bend it up. Now what that does is that gets you in line with the 16 on center. The next mark, you'll notice there's two different marks here, and you have to bend them dependent upon the depth of your square box or your device box. Because this bracket can not only be used for square boxes, it could be octagon, could be device boxes. So in this particular training I'm doing here, we will go ahead and do a 2 1/8 depth. So I'll go ahead and hold it right on that mark, and I will bend towards me. And you're creating an L, right? So this here is going to sit on the face of the stud. So I'll go ahead and repeat that. The first bending point is closest to the edge here, and you bend it up. Next, you're going to then identify, as we did on the other side, the 2 1/8 depth, which would be your second mark here. And then you'll bend toward yourself. Okay. This should be your final product that you have here. And if we look, you'll notice that there's two ends that will sit on the face of the studs. So what I will demonstrate now is how to fit it in between the studs here that I have set that are 16 on center. So when mounting your telescoping bracket, you're going to hold it up against the stud. Now you notice that the front of it is sitting on the face of the stud. So hold it tight, and you're going to secure it with a screw. Remember, the maximum distance on this is 17 inches and 3/4. So 17 3/4 of an inch. You can open it that far. It will close down as much as 11 1/2. So please take a level, mount it onto your bracket so that you have a level install. Okay, now there's no need to lock it in place. It is automatically locked in place, so we'll just continue adding the screws on the face of the bracket. Now it's up to you. There are 4 screw holes. You can use 2, depending upon what you're going to install. Whether it's a device, you know the weight of what you're installing. So if it's just going to be a receptacle or device, 2 screws might suffice. If not, go ahead and add all 4. Can't hurt. So why are we using this telescoping bracket? Is that you want to make sure you have the ability of mounting your device box, your junction box, it could be a receptacle, anywhere that it needs to be. Because if it doesn't line up on a stud, you're going to need to maybe get a perfect center. And that, you are now able to take your square box and mount it anywhere along this bracket. And that, to me, saves a lot of time. It also allows you to have that perfect job, so that everything you install is perfectly lined up. So I'll go ahead and show you here. Using metal screws, you would line it up on the hole, And the same thing, anytime you install, whether it's the bracket or the box, just throw a level on there, just to make sure that you have that perfect job. Okay. So when you've mounted your box to the bracket, you'll know that it's mounted correctly because it should be flush with the stud. So to finish off your job, you may use your device cover here, where you go ahead and mount it to your 832 screws and secure it to the box. Now your installation is complete for this box. But if you'll notice, there is available room if you had to mount additional boxes. So it's not just meant for one individual box, it could be for multiple if needed. So this is how you would install the bracket and install the box to the bracket. When choosing your telescoping bracket, this size here is for commercial applications or for anywhere that you have studs that are separated beyond the 16 on center. This telescoping bracket can go from 14 1/4 up to 24 1/4. So this would provide you the solutions needed for any job site you have, whether it's for a residential where it's a little bit smaller, where the studs are closer together, or in a commercial application where they're a little bit further apart. You will find the solution needed to mount your boxes. For more information about Topaz products, please visit our website.